Our next act on the Avid stage is the Maritime Voices of the Washington Rebels. The Maritime Voices celebrate the sea and the inland waterways of America, the men who worked the great sailing ships, the women who sustained the shoreside communities, and the men and women who lived and worked on the canals, lakes, and rivers. Formed in 2008, this group performs lively song, instrumental music, dances, folk dramas, and other traditions of the 19th century. Please make welcome the Washington Rebels Maritime Voices.
Yes, folks, we are the Washington Rebels Maritime Voices. Now ships may come and ships may go, as long as the sea does roll. Each sailor lad is like his dad, he loves the flowing pole. A trip ashore he does adore, with the girl who's plump and round. When your money's gone, it's the same old song.
Get up, Jack Johnson down. Come along, you jolly great boys, there's lots of grog in the jar. We'll pound by the ocean with the jolly rolling tar.
When Jack gets in, he'll steer his course for some old boarding house. They'll welcome him with rum and gin, they'll feed him on pork souse. He'll lend and spend and not offend till he lies drunk on the ground. When your money's gone, it's the same old song.
Get up, Jack Johnson down. Come along, you jolly great boys, there's lots of grog in the jar. We'll pound by the ocean with the jolly rolling tar.
Some sailing ship for India or Japan. In Asia there the ladies fair all love the sailor man. He'll go ashore and on a tear he'll buy some girl a gown. When your money's gone, it's the same old song.
Get up, Jack Johnson down. Come along, you jolly great boys, there's lots of grog in the jar. We'll plow by the ocean with the jolly rolling tar.
Jack gets old and weather beat, too old to row him out. In some rum shop they'll let him stop till 8 bells calls him out. He'll roll his eyes up to the skies and say, boys, we're homeward bound. Oh, when your money's gone, it's the same old song.
Get up, Jack Johnson down. Come along, you jolly great boys, there's lots of grog in the jar. We'll pound by the ocean with the jolly rolling.
One more time.
Come along, you jolly great boys, there's lots of grog in the jar. We'll pound by the ocean with the jolly rolling tar.
Well, that was a song that a sailor might sing in a pub when he's in the port. But there are other kinds of sailor songs. They're called sea shanties. These are songs aboard ship that are designed to keep the work going at the right pace and speed. So here's an example of a sea shanty. This one is Haul Away Joe.
For 40 days and 40 nights we've labored to exhaustion.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Another 40 days and nights we're heading into Boston.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we're bound for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
My mother used to tell me when I was just a little boy.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
That if I did not kiss the girls, my lips would grow all moldy.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we're bound for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
King Louis was the king of France before the revolution.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
The people cut his head off, which spoiled his constitution.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we're bound for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Well, once I had a Boston girl, but she was fat and lazy.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
So then I got a New York girl,
Way all away, we'll all away go.
Sing it!
Way all away, we're bound for better weather. Way all away, we'll all away Joe. And way all away, we're bound for better weather. Way all away, we'll all away Joe.
Woo! So now let's take a little trip to Scotland. We're going to the Scottish Isles to see some of their fishing communities. This song is called Mingulay.
Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Bring her head round now all together. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing home, home to Mingulay. What care we though white the minch is? What care we for wind or weather? Let her go, boys, every inch is sailing home, home to Mingulay. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Bring her head round now all together. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing home, home to Mingulay.
While they're waiting on the banks or looking seaward from the heather, hold around, boy, on your anchor ere the sun sets on Mingulay.
Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Bring her head round now all together. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing home, home to Mingulay. Ships return now heavy laden.
Mothers waiting, babes are sleeping.
Ships return now as the sun sets. They return now to Mingulay. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Bring her head round now all together. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing home, home to Mingulay. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Bring her head round now all together. Heel-yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing home, home to Mingulay.
Woo! Okay, now we're going to get off the high seas and come ashore. And there are lots of songs that were created and sung in the canals and waterways of America. We happen to have a couple that date to our own C&O Canal. The first one is called Otho's Song. Otho was an old boatman who spent all his life on the boats in the canal. So here's Otho's Song.
I was one around the mountain and the wind did roll, honey. Coming down the mountain and the wind did roll. Couldn't hear nothing but the rudder blade roll, honey. Oh, darling mine. I ain't got no whiskey, but I will have some, honey.
Got no whiskey, but I will have some.
When this boat gets to Washington, oh, honey. Oh, darling mine. I ain't got no money, but I will have some, honey.
Got no money, but I will have some.
When this dang boat gets to Washington, oh, honey, oh, darling mine. And when we reach them mules, I'll say, honey.
When we reach the mules, I'll say,
I'll feed 'em corn and you'll feed 'em hay, honey, oh, darling mine. And when we reach that boat, I'll say, honey.
When we reach that boat, I'll say,
ain't gonna work, gonna drink all day. Honey,
oh, darling mine. Honey, oh, darling mine. Honey, oh, darling mine.
And here's another song from the C&O. The fact is that on these inland canals, the women folk were just as likely to share with the men their duties on board the boats. So we're going to illustrate that with this song, which is Coming Down the C&O.
Come down a big pool, water mighty wide. Pitch out a quarter and see if it can fly. Captain, water mighty small. Get out your pocketbook, your manifest and all.
Get along, oh, boats. And ram them down, get along, oh, boats.
Come down a log wall, give a mighty yell. The hands catch fire and the driver rang the bell. The captain played the fiddle and the steersman played the flute, and the cook poured coffee in the old man's boot. Ram jam down,
Get along, oh, boats. And ram them down, get along, oh, boats.
On the Georgetown level, the boat catched a fire. Captain cussed the cook and he called him a liar. The cook cussed the driver cussed the mule cussed them all and said,
Who's an old fool?
and the ram jam down.
Get along, oh, boats. And ram them down, get along, oh, boats.
And the ram jam down.
Get along, oh, boats. And ram them down, get along, oh, boats.
So next we have a historical song. This, like many of the songs of the day, celebrated naval engagements. In this particular case, it was the Union victory in the Battle of the Monitor and the Merrimack. This was sung happily all through the music halls of the North. This is Monitor and Merrimack.
I'm going to sing a song. I won't detain you long. If you listen, I will how you know so handy. Oh, the Monitor went smack onto the Merrimack, and on her sides played Yankee Doodle Dandy. Oh,
Hip-a-doodle-doo, Jeff Davis, how are you? Our Monitor beats your Merrimack quite handy, oh. A blink and he's around, in a world that can't be found. A people like the Yankee Doodle Dandy, oh.
'twas on the 8th of March, the Merrimack slipped out from Norfolk Port to take a cruise so handy. Oh, she did not think she'd meet anything in her fleet able to give her Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Oh, hip-a-doodle-doo, Jeff Davis, how are you? Our Monitor beats your Merrimack quite handy, oh. A blink and he's around, in a world that can't be found. A people like the Yankee Doodle Dandy, oh.
The Merrimack rushed around, smashing everything she found, till the Monitor came sailing in so handy, oh. And the Monitor stopped her fun, soon made her cut and run, while the shells they whistled Yankee Doodle Dandy, oh.
Oh, hip-a-doodle-doo, Jeff Davis, how are you? Our Monitor beats your Merrimack quite handy, oh. A blink and he's around, in the world that can't be found. A people like the Yankee Doodle Dandy, oh.
Now let us cheer
Hurrah!
for the men that don't know fear. They worked that little battery so handy, oh.
He's learned well of us all, let's say that none may fall. Live long to see the Yankee Doodle Dandy, oh.
Oh, hip-a-doodle-doo, Jeff Davis, how are you? Our Monitor beats your Merrimack quite handy, oh. A blink and he's around, in the world that can't be found. A people like the Yankee Doodle Dandy, oh. Hip-a-doodle-doo, Jeff Davis, how are you? Our Monitor beats your Merrimack quite handy, oh. A blink and he's around, in the world that can't be found.
So, next we have a beautiful song that started in the inland waters and then went out to sea. This is Shenandoah.
Oh, Shenandoah, I'm bound to leave you away your rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I'll not deceive you. Away, we're bound away, cross the wide Missouri.
Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away, we're bound away, cross the wide Missouri.
It's 7 long years since last I've seen you away, you rolling river. But Shenandoah, yet still I greet you. Away, I'm bound away, cross the wide Missouri.
Oh, Shenandoah, I am your daughter. Away, rolling river. I love the music of your water. Away, we're bound away, across the wide Missouri.
Oh, Shenandoah, you lovely river, away, you rolling river, and I will never forget you ever. Away, we're bound away, cross the wide Missouri.
Thank you. We have a little bit of time, so we're going to sing another song. This is Lever Johnny. Oh, the times are hard and the wages low. It's once more home from the sea we'll go. And it's time for us to leave her. Oh, it's rotten meat and weevily bread. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. You'll eat or starve thank you, folks. We are one of the ensembles of the Washington Rebels. There are several more. And we have a wonderful Christmas program coming up. So please tune into the Rebels website and you'll see all of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rebels Maritime Voices. You can find out more about them at rebelsdc.org. Weren't they terrific?